Ayy, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
What's up, Atlanta Braves fans? All right, these last 4 or 5 games for the Atlanta Braves after the All-Star break have been pretty rough. I do say so myself. They was on the verge of getting swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks, which they have. They lost the first 2 games. Looks like they was gonna lose the 3rd game by getting swept. It didn't look good for the Atlanta Braves today, but they pulled it out. I mean, they pulled it out. And so, with that being said, I'm going to just recap today's game plus the series. The Braves lost the first game in a close, like a dead shootout. The Braves had this game. They was going back and forth in the first game where they lost 16-13. Then they lost 5-3. And they finally won the last game after being down 4-1. They won 7-5. And the thing about this is that the Arizona Diamondbacks in this series scored 20? They scored 26 runs. The Braves had 23. So in total, it was like 49 runs between these teams in the series. Ridiculous, because the explosion of the first game of the series. But nevertheless, recapping this game, the Braves was down early. Like I said, the Braves were down early, but Spencer Strider, he held on. Yates, he got the win. He's 4-0 in saves, and in English he earned his. Well, actually, Kirby Yates he got the win, and English earned his 7th save in 19 chances. So that's pretty doggone good. Castrillo is 5-4 when charged with a loss, so that's not pretty good. And the Brewers did beat the Phillies today, so that's a good thing. I think the Braves have the Brewers coming up next. I'm not too sure, but I'll double check. Dominic Canzone and Emilio Rivera hit back-to-back home runs for Arizona in the 7th inning. 7th against Spencer Strider. Then Corbin Carroll added his 19th home run in the 8th. So Spencer Strider was getting pretty rocked today, but he's still on pace for his 300 strikeouts. So we'll see how that goes. But Austin Riley hit a 3-run homer off of Miguel Castro in the 8th inning, and the major league leading Braves stopped a 4-game skid by beating the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-5 over because it's crazy. It's crazy that the Braves, and Matt Olson has not hit a home run in the last couple of games. Finally hit 2 home runs in this game to make his total with the NL best 32 home runs. Atlanta Arcia also connected. So that helped the Braves in this game to pile up some runs because they needed it. It's like their offense was there, but I just felt like the pitching has kind of like let them down a little bit, kind of like kept them at a standstill. You know what I'm saying? Where they seemed like they were struggling to get on base, especially last night's game. It just seemed like a struggle. After the first game, it was crazy. Riley followed Michael Harris second with a double and Ozzy Albies He walked and his fourth homer of the 3-game series, make it 20 of the season, putting Atlanta 62-33 ahead of they was 65 at that time. Riley has homered in 3 straight games, 4 times in his big league career. And that's what I say. Like, if you go back to the last series with the Cubs, the White Sox, Riley he struggled a little bit. And then it was Matt Olson and Sean Murphy. But then, even though the Braves didn't win the series, but now Austin Riley's starting to get his groove back. And I think when Riley get his groove back, Olson get his groove, and Sean Murphy and everybody start feeding up. I haven't seen anything from Ozuna in a couple of games, because Eddie Rosario, he got hurt in the White Sox series, but I think he got hurt in this series, but he did play. And then I haven't heard, like I said, Marcell Ozuna, I haven't heard anything from him in a hot minute. And then the Braves, and then they was making in this series, they was making uncharacteristic errors. Things that they haven't done pretty much since the midway through the season and going into the All-Star break. They was on fire. And it just seemed like they got cooled off after that All-Star break. Now, I guess we have to see how well they'll catch back fire again. But they needed this win to avoid a 4-game sweep and end that 4-game loss, because they're the best team in the major leagues right now, and especially with Tampa Bay still struggling. You know what I'm saying? With Tampa Bay still struggling, they tied in the 9th with the Orioles right now. But if you look at the standings right now, the Braves needed this win. They needed this win big time, because the fact of the matter is, with the league, they 7 games. They was 9.5 games up over, and these last 2 losses, and with Arizona. Now Arizona, but the Dodgers lost today. The Braves won, so they kept them at bay. So the Dodgers been in the last 10, they've been 8-2. The Braves are 5-5 in the last 10. So that means that the Braves had won the last series, and this one, even if they won 4 out of that, if they swept this one, 1-2 out of there, that would have been 8. The Braves would have probably been up 10 games right now over the Dodgers. 10 games. So they're 7 games up now over them, and Milwaukee is right there behind them. Baltimore and Tampa Bay is even, so that's a battle for that division. Now, the Braves right now is still the major league's best, because they still 4 games over. They got the best record. They 4 games up over the Baltimore and Tampa Bay. So now let's see what the Braves look like in the next couple of games. Yep, like I predicted, they go to Milwaukee. They play the Brewers. They got 3 games. They play the Brewers tomorrow. They got a 3-game set: Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They play on ESPN Plus at 8:15. Then they play Saturday and Sunday at 2. Then they travel all the way. They got a 2-game stand with the They got a 2-game stand with the Red Sox, and then they come back home, and then they have a midweek with the Brewers again. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday again. And then the Angels come to town that Monday. So these games gonna be tough, and they're gonna have to play. They have to really play in these next games, and they're going to Milwaukee. And I'm going to look at Milwaukee's schedule right now. Milwaukee, they 8-2 in the last 10 too. So the Braves gonna have to play, because Milwaukee is pretty good. Now Arizona is 4. It's crazy, but Arizona was 4-6 in the last 10 games. So they picked up 2 games against the Braves. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I don't know. Hopefully the pitching, hopefully we could get some of these guys back, pitching wise, to help the Braves where they could not give up a lot of runs and they could do the things that they need to do on offense. But until then, man, they got the Milwaukee Brewers coming up, a team that they should have swept the beginning of the season. Hopefully the Brewers has been playing a little bit better. Maybe the Braves can catch fire, sweep them, and get back in the win column, and then start putting some distance between them and the league and in their own division. So until then, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video, because you know what I do. If it ain't the Atlanta Braves, it's the Miami Hurricanes, the Washington Commanders, or the Chicago Bulls. I do it all. But until then, this your boy LiveWire Sports, and I'm out.